Hi, I'm Adam. What are these fruit baskets doing here?
I'm just getting ready.
Okay, well, I'm Adam,
And I'm Joe.
and together we're the Maladjusted Misfits.
And this is the one where we talk about friends. Hello.
Hi.
This is the last episode of the season.
Last episode of the season.
24.
24 episodes.
Yep. We made it. One season down. Check.
9 more to go. Check.
But you're having fun, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Oh, I can't tell if that's sarcastic or real.
Okay.
Moving on.
Moving on.
All right. Don't forget, we have 2 bonus episodes.
2 bonus episodes.
After this. So next week will be our season wrap-up.
Season wrap-up.
Yeah.
You're excited. I'm excited.
I'm excited, yes.
That'll
And then
be fun.
the one after that will be, we're going to watch the whole 9 yards and talk about it.
Our first movie review.
I know. We'll be movie reviewers.
Yes. Well, we'll do a little one at the end of this episode.
Oh, yeah. So, as promised, we subjected ourselves to Weekend at Bernie's. And
Yes.
we don't want to give too much away, but we'll talk about it at the end.
Yes, we'll talk about the... She already used the word subjected.
Yeah.
And I'll give a little hint.
I was a little confused, but we'll talk about it. All right.
All right. So, on with the episode.
This week we're doing...
The one where Rachel finds out.
Ooh.
And the IMDb plot is, as Ross leaves for China, Chandler accidentally reveals Ross's feelings for Rachel. And Joey takes part in a fertility study and is unable to sleep with his new girlfriend. Well, technically, he can sleep.
Right. He has a little side business there. All right. This week's episode director is one of our executive producers,
Ooh.
Kevin Bright.
Kevin.
He was the executive producer for all 234 episodes.
Episodes.
At least I didn't say series. And he directed a total of 52 of those episodes.
Ooh. That's a sizable chunk.
Our episode writer is a new one, Chris Brown.
Okay.
Chris Brown wrote 3 episodes of Friends over the first 3 seasons. So 1 episode for the first 3 seasons.
They're like, here, finish off season 1. No pressure.
Yeah. Do the cliffhanger. When was our original air date?
It was May 18th, 1995.
May 18th. All right.
Yeah. So Die Hard with a Vengeance just moved into the top spot.
Woohoo.
So I found out other news.
Okay.
So that week, the Emmys aired. And the daytime award presentation.
Right.
And Susan Lucci lost for the 15th time.
Isn't that Joey is on that Days of Our Lives, and Susan Lucci is on that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. For the 15th time.
15th time. I think she got up to like 20 or something, didn't she?
Before she won? Yeah.
I don't remember exactly.
It's crazy.
It's out of my...
We didn't watch
wheelhouse.
Days of Our Lives. When we were little, our my mom watched Guiding Light.
Right. My grandmother watched... she watched a little bit of Guiding Light and Young and the Restless.
Young and the Restless. That was the other one. Yes.
So those were the ones my grandmother watched.
All right. Are you ready for some trivia?
I am ready.
All
Wait.
right. What?
Okay.
Now you're ready? Okay. All right. So, according to trivia, this is the first broadcast passionate kiss of Ross and Rachel.
Okay.
Although it's still in Rachel's fantasy.
Right.
But their first physical kiss actually happened in the one with the East German laundry detergent.
Right.
Yep. But this is the first passionate kiss.
Kiss.
Yeah. There's a difference.
Yeah. Well, that was just thanks.
Yeah. This is the first episode to show Rachel's habit for exchanging gifts.
Yes.
That she receives from her friend.
I did
she
notice
tells,
that.
Yeah, she tells Monica she exchanged her blouse.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure she either didn't take the scramble.
Right. I don't think she even took it.
And there's an outtake of this episode, like a blooper, where Jennifer Aniston's, flowy, capey skirt gets stuck in the door when she runs out to go see Ross. So we'll have to look that one up.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so what were your episode reactions?
Well, let's see. Rachel finally gets a clue. The clue being Chandler flat out telling her that Ross likes her.
Right.
It's fun getting to see Rachel dealing with her feelings after watching Ross try to deal with his for the whole season. It's kind of fun getting to flip it. So I like that. Yeah. And, there's a couple fun side things that happen. And Joey's story is funny with all the baskets. And all in all, it's a decent cap to the first season, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Again, we talked about it last week about James Burrows saying that the birth of Ben couldn't be the season ending.
Right.
So we have Rachel realizing Ross loves her, which seemed obvious to everyone else. Okay, maybe not Mon and Phoebe. So all the girls were oblivious.
Right.
I do love the fruit basket storyline. I think it's funny. And this week, Phoebe just offers up one-liners.
Yeah.
She doesn't.
Her and Chandler, that's mainly all they do.
That's what they do this week. And then I think it's a good, funny cliffhanger. It's All right, favorite line. Mine is when Phoebe's going, "This is going to change our lives forever." And Chandler goes, "Is there a mute button on this woman?"
That's a funny one. There's a lot of good ones.
Yeah, there are.
I picked one that I like how it's delivered.
Okay.
I like that the delivery kind of comes out of nowhere. Because Joey says it, and he's kind of like, "Oh no, but how could she do that when she's never shown any interest in you?"
Yeah, when they're out on the
it's just very sarcastic, very blunt.
That's because he's got a couple beers in him.
Yeah.
All right, favorite moment. I really like when Monica gets mad at Rachel for dumping her brother before she's even talked to him.
Right.
Like, why are you dumping my brother?
Yeah. Her overreactions are pretty funny in this one.
It's pretty funny.
I kind of switched mine at the last minute. I had a few favorite moments. Again, this is a funny episode. Lots of funny stuff going on. I'll mention my second runner-up, but my winner was Chandler's moment of realization. I mean, I think that's just one of the best moments.
Crystal Duck.
Crystal Duck. He just delivers the line, very frankly, like, "Oh, Ross."
Oh, right.
And then he's like, "Oh, fuck."
And I like, and there's a couple cut scenes and we'll talk about it, but I like how he's like so worried that Ross is going to disown him.
Right.
Because he's the one that spilled the beans.
Yeah.
All right. So favorite outfit, you picked mine, but that's okay. Because there wasn't a lot because it was over like one whole day and then part of another day. So there wasn't a ton to choose from. So I'm going to go with Monica's outfit, in the beginning, the little flower skirt and the sweater. I think I wore something like that when, in the 90s. So I'll go with the 90s nostalgic outfit.
It's very cute.
It is cute.
My favorite outfit is Rachel's, and I think it's one of those they try to end the season on a fancy outfit.
Yeah.
I think it's a little weird.
Yeah.
But she wears it really well.
She does. She pulls it off.
And it's that, fancy skirt within a skirt. And it's kind of like a skirt cape thing over top of it.
Right.
But she looks super attractive.
She does. She looks really cute. Later on when she's climbing out the window, I'm like, what? Pull up, get that skirt in there. You're gonna trip over it. Okay, I would have tripped over it. All right, so themes we explored this episode. Theme 1, finding out someone loves you.
Oh, yeah. Theme 2, trying to figure out if you want to date the person who loves you.
Yes. Theme 3, being there for her.
What do you mean?
Come over there.
And theme 4, fruit baskets.
There was a lot of fruit baskets.
A lot of fruit baskets.
All right. We're going to take a quick break before we break down the episode.
That's right.
Oh my God, he remembered. It was like months ago. We were walking by this antique store and I saw this pin in the window and I told him it was just like the one my grandmother had when I was a little girl. Oh, I can't believe he remembered.
Well, sure, but can you play it on a plane?
Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. This must have cost him a fortune. I can't believe he did this.
Come on, Ross. Remember back in college when he fell in love with Carol and bought her that ridiculously expensive crystal duck?
What did you just say?
Crystal duck.
No. The, love part?
Flagon?
I like his little made-up stuff. We're back, baby.
You said it this time.
I know.
Oh, my goodness. So we're doing the episode breakdown now, or the episode analysis, if we want to be fancy about it.
We don't.
And the cold open starts in Central Perk. Mm-hmm. And do you want to talk about the extended cold open?
Oh, yeah. So we just watched the DVD. And really, there's an opening before the cold open.
Right.
So it opens on a cutscene with Ross, Chandler, and Joey sitting on the couch.
Right.
And Ross is showing, there's a stack of pictures of Ben.
Right.
And he's going through them and he goes, is he going to fall asleep? And he keeps flipping the pictures. Yeah. And he goes, yeah, then he falls asleep.
Yes. And the boys
yeah.
are the only ones there so far. And they are bored.
Bored, yeah. And then the girls come in, and they're like, what are you doing? And Chandler goes, Ross has 400 pictures of Ben on a rug.
Right.
And they all go, oh!
And they run over.
Yeah.
And they want to look.
So I'm sure Chandler and Joey are relieved that the girls have showed up.
And they have to jump out of the way for the girls to get to the pictures. But then we're back to the regular opening.
Yes.
And Ross is sharing the photos of baby Ben. Mm-hmm. Developed film photos. That takes you back, doesn't it?
Yeah. You either forgot to pick them up after you got them developed, or you forgot to ever take them to get developed in the first place.
Right. But when you had a new baby, you probably took 17 rolls of pictures.
Right.
And had to go get them all developed.
And 900 of them were blurry.
Right. And 2 of them were good. And you put that one in a photo album. So Phoebe points out a pic in which Ben has Ross's haircut. And Rachel wants to see that one. And she climbs onto Ross.
Yeah. She's practically laying on his lap.
Yeah. She's kind of got her arm around him. She's hugging him. Mm-hmm. And she's going, oh, he's just the sweetest thing. You must want to kiss him all over. Mm-hmm. But our friend Ross is staring longingly at Rachel. And he's thinking, oh, I want to kiss her all over. But he's like, that would be nice. And again, how does she not know?
Right.
Like, I don't know how you climb on somebody and are that close to somebody that you have no attraction to at all.
Exactly.
I mean, I know they're friends, but...
You don't climb onto your friend's lap.
Right. I don't just wrap my arms around them and crawl on their lap and look at pictures. But I think it's safe to say that the subtext is implying that he wants to kiss her.
Yes.
And anyway, so Chandler goes... And he claims to have extra air in his mouth.
Right.
But I was a little confused by this.
I think he's tired
He's tired of the Rachel not knowing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, how can you not know that he loves you?
Right.
So he was like, pfft.
Yeah, I didn't know if he was mad about something else. I was like, he goes over and starts talking to Joey. I was like, he doesn't seem mad about anything else.
No.
It's just the Ross and Rachel. Mm-hmm. He's reacting like Adam to it.
The season's over. He still doesn't know.
So then, like I said, he talks to Joey, and Joey asks Chandler for help with his bill. Mm-hmm. Chandler does a quick tally, saying this, with the waffles last week, you owe me $17 jillion.
I like that. $17 jillion.
So Joey says this time he'll pay him back because he's helping with research at NYU. And Ross loudly just goes, what kind of research?
It reminds me of that time when he goes, wish me luck.
Right.
Wish it.
Wish it. Right.
Because he says it so loud.
Right. And Joey is kind of doing I'm trying to talk
Yeah,
softly to Chandler here.
Don't want everyone to know. But now they know.
But now they know. And he's like, science. There's science research. And then they're all staring at him. He goes, okay, it's a fertility study.
Tell me you're only donating your time. But then there's a cut scene.
Yeah.
And Joey says he's doing more than that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Chandler goes, thank you, God. This will bring us so much joy.
Loves making fun of people.
They make fun of him. And Rach says, I finally know someone who enjoys what they do.
Yes. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, I like that one.
They could have let that one in. He explains that for this research, he goes every other day and makes his contribution to the project. And after 2 weeks, he gets $700. And Phoebe says, which was almost my favorite line, well, you'll be making money hand over fist.
I'm surprised that wasn't your favorite line.
It was very close.
All right. So then we cut to Monica and Rachel's apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Monica and Phoebe are there.
Yes.
Monica is making coleslaw, and Phoebe says she has the ground-up flesh of formerly cute cows and turkeys.
Yeah.
I'll give you cows, but turkeys just aren't cute.
Yeah, turkeys are not
No.
an attractive bird.
No, they're not. And then Joey.
Joey. That's the new name for Chandler and Joey. Joey.
Chandler and Joey enter. And then they go, men are here. We make fire, cook meat. And then Chandler says, and then put out fire by peeing on it. No get invited back.
Which is funny.
It is funny. But Monica's not amused.
No.
She tells Joey that Melanie called and she'll be late.
Aww.
And then Phoebes asks if Melanie is becoming his special someone.
It's your special someone.
Joey has not told her that he's also seeing a cup every other day. So
Yeah.
But the tough thing is that she really, really wants to have sex with him. And Chandler says, crazy bitch.
I'm not allowed to conduct any personal experiments, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, everyone always knows what you mean. But anyhow, Monica reminds him they always know what he means.
They always know what Joey
Yes.
means.
Yes.
So then we cut to Monica and Rachel's.
Mm-hmm.
Monica and Phoebe and Chandler and Joey, they're out on the balcony grilling the food. You can see them in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And Ross comes in with luggage. And Phoebes asks how long did he think the barbecue was going to last.
That was pretty funny.
But Ross said he's going to China.
Jeez, you say one thing and
And the story breaks down like this. There's a bone, and Ross's museum wants that bone, but they don't want the museum to have that bone, so they're sending Ross to persuade them to have the bone. It's a whole big bone thing, kind of like Joey's science experiment.
See, I know what you meant.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious.
Right?
So Ross says he'll be gone for a week, and they won't be able to get a hold of him. Remember the days?
Yeah, it's crazy to even think about it, you know?
So then he gives Mon his itinerary.
You remember those?
Yeah. And a photo of himself and asks that she take it to Carol's to show Ben so he doesn't forget him. And Phoebe holds up the photo, which I assume is his security badge from the Warner Brothers lot.
It is not a very flattering.
It's just a headshot of
Right.
him. And he's smiling. Why would anybody have that kind of picture of themselves? It's weird. But Phoebe goes, "Hello, Ben, I'm your father."
In her Darth Vader voice.
Is she supposed to be doing a Darth
I
Vader
don't
voice?
know, but it kind of sounds like it.
Well, she's not really like, "Hello, Ben, I am your father."
But that would have been fucking hilarious.
Right. But no, I think she's just kind of going...
Doing a deep voice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because then she's like, "I am the head." Ah! Which Darth Vader never said.
No, he did not.
So Ross is looking at her like the wet blanket that he is. And she is like, "This barbecue is going to be a lot of fun."
I thought that line was so funny.
But then, like, does Carol not have a picture of Ross that she can hold up? And
Of
be
Bobo
like,
the sperm guy?
yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, that would be funny if Susan was like, "This is Bobo the sperm guy. He misses you." So Ross wants to wish Rachel a happy birthday. Duh. Before he leaves, but he finds out that she's going to be having drinks with Carl. And Mana's like, "You know, the guy that she met at the coffee house." And he's like, "No." And Phoebe says, well, there's this guy you see that she met, he goes, at the coffee house. And she goes, so you do know him. And he's even more annoyed than he was in the first place. And he gives her a look that you give me sometimes, Joe. So then he's like, I'm going to go tell the guys goodbye. And Phoebe tells him to make sure he shares that bone story with them. And that was almost my favorite moment.
That was really funny.
When he kind of stops walking, when she's like, tell him that bone story. And he's like,
he kind of puts his head down for a second. Yeah.
On the balcony, he tells the guys that he has to go to China. And Joey asks,
the country? And
he's like, no, the big pile of dishes at my mom's brick front. Ross, let's just let Phoebe and Chandler handle the quips, okay?
I had no idea that a china cabinet or a hutch was called a break front.
Right.
The joke was weird to me until I looked it up a while ago, not today.
Oh, you looked it up before. It's something you previously Googled.
No, I looked it up today.
Oh. You fibbed, and I fell for it.
You didn't read between the lines.
Well, you've seen it so many times. I didn't know if you were like...
But sometimes you watch it and you're just like, I figure he means someplace you keep dishes, so I didn't look it up. But today I did.
Well, so did I.
Okay.
I didn't put it in the notes, though. I was like, break front? What the fuck is a break front?
Why are the dishes on the edge of the ocean?
Yeah, see, we don't have any china, so that's why we have no fucking clue what it is.
We don't even have the dishes we got married with.
No. So he asks if they know who this fucking Carl guy is. And Chandler's like, let me see, Alvin, Simon, Theodore. No.
That was funny.
And Ross is mad that Rachel's having drinks with the fucking Carl guy tonight.
Oh no, how can she do that when she's never shown any interest in you?
Right. And the guys tell him to forget Rachel. Go to China, eat Chinese food. Or just food, as they call it. And Ross gives Chandy his gift for Rachel.
Chandy.
And Joey assures Ross that they just want him to be happy. And he's only had a couple beers in him. But he loves Ross. I love you, man. And he hugs him. And Chandler's only on his first drink. So he just thinks Ross is nice.
I like that, too.
Yeah.
That was a funny
But
one.
I like that they're like, come on, man. You got to get past this.
Right. Just go to China. Get over it. And he did.
Yeah. And he completely listened to their advice.
Exactly. All right. So then we're still at Monica and Rachel's.
Mm-hmm.
It's Monica, Phoebe, Chandler, Joey, and Melanie.
Yes.
Everyone's at the kitchen table. Melanie's on Joey's lap.
Mm-hmm.
Now, nothing against this actress at all. She's very cute. Mm-hmm. She's a very good actress. But do you think she looks like someone that Joey would date? I mean, of the girls that we've seen so far in this first season, it's like, where did she come from? She looks like I did when I was that age.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the first season selection has been...
weird.
Yeah, I mean... Okay. I think we get used to super hot known actresses.
Yeah.
You know, really quick. You know, Julie Roberts.
Right.
And what's her, Mystique.
Oh, Rebecca Romaine.
Right. You get used to a certain level
of
person being on a TV show. But yeah, she looks like a perfectly cute, normal woman.
Right. But of all the girls that he's dated,
yeah,
she doesn't look anything like them. So anyhow, and she's 37. I looked her up.
Oh.
So while they were filming this, she was 37.
Well, she looks good for 37.
She does.
She's very cute.
We'll let her go. She's very cute. But anyway. So anyhow, she's telling him about the Three Basketeers, which is the name of her company. And the joke lands really hard on Chandler because he goes, oh.
Yeah.
Like, that wasn't funny at all.
Right.
But anyhow, they were going to go eat, but Rachel yells, presents first, like a 3-year-old at their birthday party.
Right.
There was a cut line. Do you remember that? It was really funny.
I don't care what Rachel says. Presents first.
That's right, Chandler. So Monica asks Joey how he's holding up. She kind of holds him back in the kitchen. Mm-hmm. And he says she thinks there's definitely going to be a transaction tonight.
What? I don't know what you mean, Joey.
So Monica asks if he has ever thought about being there for her.
What do you mean?
And I know you know what she means, and I know what she means, but she seriously practically has to hit him over the head with, for her.
I'm not following you. What?
So they give up. Monica says, think about it.
Right.
They head to the couch. Rachel's opening her presents. Melanie gets Rachel a fruit basket. Chandler's excited about his present. He seems very excited.
Yes,
Rachel's not.
No.
So she opens the travel Scrabble and then hands it to him.
Why travel Scrabble? She doesn't travel a lot. Why not just get a regular Scrabble?
She still wouldn't like it.
I mean, Rachel still wouldn't like it, but still.
I think Chandler's just a typical guy, and when it comes to presents, I mean, we've seen him a couple times playing Scrabble together.
Right.
And so she already has a regular Scrabble game, so he thought... I mean, remember how excited we were when we found the deluxe Scrabble board?
Oh, right. It
was like on this Lazy Susan where you could spin the board around and it had these little slots for the tiles so they didn't fall out or move around. Right. We were super excited.
We were.
I would have liked the travel Scrabble. Yeah. But anyway.
You're not Rachel.
No. Joey gets her Oh, the Places You'll Go by Dr. Seuss.
Which is worse than the travel Scrabble.
Right? And Melanie thinks it's sweet and says, there's a little child inside this man. And Chandler says, yes, the doctors say if they remove it, he'll die.
Right.
I don't think Melanie gets Chandler's humor.
No, she hasn't been around him long enough yet. A couple more days, she'll be
okay?
Yeah.
All right. So Rachel goes to open another one, and Chandler says it's from Ross. And it's the brooch that she saw in the window months ago that looked just like her grandma.
Right. So for Valentine's Day this year, Valentine's Day is coming up.
Yeah.
Would you like an old lady brooch or a crystal duck?
How about neither? I mean, if you got it for me, I would love it. But I'm good. Don't go knocking yourself out looking for an old lady brooch, okay? All right, so Rachel is overly sentimental and says she cannot believe he remembered. And Chandler reminds her she cannot play it on a plane.
Right. And you can't return it for sore credit because he got it at an antique shop.
So Phoebe says it must have cost him a fortune. And then Chandler opens his mouth and inserts his foot.
Yes.
Which he does a lot in this series.
He does.
But he says, remember when he was in love with Carol and he bought her that ridiculously expensive crystal duck?
Oh, man. So which is better between the two? If you were going to get one.
The brooch.
The brooch?
Yeah,
okay.
Because it's kitschy, you know?
Right.
Like I could put it on a jean jacket and think it would be fun.
Right.
But the crystal duck, I would be like, what is this and why? No.
Why?
Why?
Maybe she likes ducks. I don't know.
That's just why I thought. Maybe she collected them, or maybe there was a duck there the first night they had sex. Or... All right. So Rachel says,
what?
And Chandler tries to backpedal. But he can't. Mm-mm. And then the girls are like, oh my God.
Right. I like how they're all staring at him like, what?
I can't believe you just said that. So Chandler's freaking out. And my least favorite line that Joey says, keep rubbing your head. That'll turn back time. I don't know why. I just hate that line.
Well, sometimes they get you with an annoying one.
Yeah, I don't like it.
But yeah, it's not often that the girls are all in the dark and Joey knows what's going on.
Right.
But this is one of those times.
Yes. So then there's a time jump. We're still in the same apartment, same day, still after she opened the presents.
So you get a real good look of her outfit now. Now it's shorts and it's connected.
Right. It's like a jumper.
How does she get in that thing?
There's probably a zipper in the back or the side. But more importantly, how the fuck does she go to the bathroom in that thing?
Well, all right. She's going to have to take that all off.
You do. You have to take that whole thing off. So she's in the bathroom naked. So Rachel is pacing and saying how unbelievable this is.
No.
And Chandler's trying to convince her that it's just it's not that important. And Phoebe does not help by saying, no one's lives are ever going to be the same again.
Phoebe.
Which is kind of true, since it will be the Ross and Rachel thing the rest of the series. So.
Well, it was from the beginning. The girls just didn't know it.
Right. So Chan says, my favorite line about muting Phoebe. And then Monica seems shocked, which is weird because she knows the night that Ross and Carol first had sex, but she doesn't know how much he loved Rachel.
Right.
That just seems weird.
Well, he probably never wanted to discuss it with her because they were best friends.
That's true.
So he probably left her out of the loop.
Like, he told Chandler and Joey because he didn't ever think that Chandler would spill the beans.
Right.
Anyhow, Rachel tries to get more information out of Joey and asks if he wants to go out with her. And Joey says, I think he wouldn't mind getting a cup of coffee.
Right.
All this time, Rachel says she has to talk to him. And Chandler says, you can't. He's in China.
The country.
That's right. And Monica pulls out her itinerary and says he doesn't leave for another 45 minutes. So seriously, in New York City, you can get a taxi, get to the airport and the gate in less than 45 minutes?
Well, I mean, there's no security checkpoint.
That's true. You can just run right through.
So depending on where they are.
Like,
But yeah, without security checkpoint, you would just, walk right in. They didn't give a shit.
so Chandler says, what about the time difference?
From here to the airport?
Yes! I like that one. So she's not sure what she's going to say. And Joey says, if it's going to break his heart, that's the kind of news that can wait.
True.
And Mon says, if it's good, she should go now. But Rachel says she doesn't know. She just needs to see him.
Right.
So Phoebe holds up the security photo of Ross and asks if this helps.
She should have been like, hi.
And so she starts to leave. And then Chandler professes his love for Rachel and says she should deal with him first.
Right.
But she leaves anyway.
Right. I like how Monica's always the one that make it romantic.
Right?
Run to the
How many
airport.
times have people run to the airport? So she runs to the airport when she finds out that Ross likes her. And then he runs to the airport at the end of the series.
Right.
Everybody's always running to the airport.
Yeah. And he runs to the airport to see Emily or something. She
Yeah.
makes him run to the airport.
That's right.
They're always running to the damn airport.
So guess where we are?
We're at the damn airport. And Ross is there, and he's walking up to boarding wearing a Walkman and practicing his Chinese. And the lady takes his ticket, and he's like, "Ni sao hua mi mai," or whatever he says. And Rachel gets there right after Ross goes in to the
Right.
little ramp hall thing.
Yep.
But the boarding lady stops her because she does not have a ticket. Because prior to a certain tragedy, you could hang out all over the airport all day long and lick the planes or whatever you wanted to do. You just had to stay out of that little hallway if you didn't have a ticket.
Lick the blades.
So the lady is like, federal regulations, blah, 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 blah. Instead of asking her to get Ross,
Yeah.
Rachel has this stranger's clearly an idiot go relay a message. And so the lady passes Ross and stops the guy who's Jack Riley. And he's one of those old guys that you would see in everything up until the 90s. Like,
Oh, yeah.
he showed up in every TV show. He's just, I know I've seen him 100
Oh,
times.
yeah. I recognize
He's
him,
also the voice of Stu Pickles on Rugrats.
too. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
So, now admittedly in the woman's favor,
Yeah.
he has on a bluer jacket than Ross has on.
Yes, he does.
But he's way too old for Rachel, and
Yeah.
he's with somebody. You think her common sense would have clicked in, but she's a fucking moron. And she goes, Rachel, love the present, and she will see you when you get back. Job done. The lady takes off. Again, she's kind of like me when I'm doing something that I don't care about. I'm like, here, message delivered. Bye. See you later.
I did my part.
And this guy has to deal with his angry wife, Toby, who's just staring at him. And he's like, wait, no, there is no Rachel. Don't give me the deep freeze. And Ross is oblivious to the whole thing with his Walkman on.
Yeah.
And,
Which is funny because if he would have heard the name Rachel,
Right.
he probably would have perked up and said, what? Huh?
Right.
Rachel?
yeah, I wouldn't have put those on while I was getting on
On
the
the plane? Yeah,
I mean,
no.
that would be weird. But
So we cut to Joey's bedroom.
Joey's bedroom.
Yep, it's Joey and Melanie. I like his Empire State Building light. Did you see that?
I did.
I like that. So anyhow, pans down to Joey and Melanie, and she's like, Joey. I think I blacked out there for a minute. I was like, wow. That's some serious, you know.
Yeah, she blacked out. She lost time. She's hallucinating.
Then she offers to take care of him, if you know what I mean.
Oh, we all know what you mean, Joe.
All right. He says, forget about me. Let's give you another turn. And she says she's going to give him a big fruit basket tomorrow. And she says he's nothing like that she thought he would be. She thought he would be a me person. But he's a giver.
You're a giver.
he's practically a woman, which Joey kind of seems pleased about.
Right.
He kind of like smiles. I was like, aw.
And then there's a cutscene where they hug.
Yeah.
And he's like, a woman?
Right. Like, so he had that little smile, and then he hugs her, and then it was like, what? No? But
Well, I think he's conflicted.
Oh, okay.
I think he's kind of like, a woman.
I don't want to be a woman.
So then we're at Monica and Rachel's.
Mm-hmm.
And Mon, Rachel, and Phoebe are there.
Yeah, so before the scene,
Yeah.
There's a cut scene where Chandler is there when Rachel walks in and says she missed him at the airport.
Right.
And he says he feels bad. And
Right.
Phoebe says, yeah, right. And he says, I do. I can think of other people than myself. And then he says, I'm going to bed. And he starts to leave. And when he closes the door behind him, you hear him go,
Yeah.
he got so excited. He's like, yes. And then he opens the door really quick and says, I got pizza coupons.
Yeah. That's why I yelled.
That's right.
Not because I was excited because you didn't catch him. So they start cleaning up, and Monica is, so her and Phoebe are kind of looking at each other.
Right.
And she's like, talking to her about saving wrapping paper, and it's still kind of good. So are you going to go with it with Ross, or should I throw it out?
I do like that. Do you want to save this or going out with my brother? Or should I throw it out?
So Rachel goes, it's Ross. I mean, it's Ross. Her gut tells her it could be really great.
Aw.
And that reminds me of the line in High Fidelity when he's like, I've listened to my guts and I've come to the conclusion my guts have shit for brains.
That's right. That's funny.
Hang on, I lost my spot. But it could be really, she thinks it could be really great.
Yeah.
So Monica's excited because they'd be friends-in-law. And the best part is you already know everything about him. It'd be like starting on the 15th date. And then Phoebe says, it'd be like starting on the 15th date.
Another good point.
But Phoebe says, no, that would be bad.
Right.
Because you're already in a very relationship-y place by then. You're committed. What if it doesn't work out?
Why wouldn't it work out?
Because sometimes it doesn't.
Is he not cute enough for you?
Does he not make enough money for you? Monica's throwing all these questions.
Right,
Maybe
right.
there's someone else. Is there? Why the hell are you dumping my brother? Rachel's like, what the hell is happening?
I love that part. So then we cut to the next morning, Chandler and Joey's. Chandler's sitting at the counter. Joey comes out of his bedroom. He comes out and tells Chandler that she's still sleeping, but it was amazing.
Yeah, she's going to be sleeping till like noon.
And then Chan is enjoying a bowl of Crunch Berries.
Yes.
And I'm more of a peanut butter Captain Crunch person. But,
Yes, you are.
and then he says, you know how you always think you're great in bed?
The fact that you even asked that question shows how little you know about me.
He says he couldn't do what he normally does, and that what he did was like a ticker tape parade.
Yes, I know. As it happens, my room is very, very close to the parade route.
And Joey says he was blind, but all of his other senses were heightened, and he appreciated it.
On another level.
Chandler is surprised that he has another level.
Yes.
As is Joey.
Yeah, they're both kind of like, I know, it's weird, right?
And then there was a hilarious cut scene where Chandler picks up the newspaper and goes, is something going on with OJ?
Yeah.
That was too funny.
News of the day. So then we're at Monica and Rachel's, and Monica and Rachel are there. Mm-hmm. And Monica's reading her mail at the kitchen table, like you do.
Yeah.
And Rachel comes out wearing the outfit of the episode. Monica says, great skirt, birthday present? And Rachel's like, yeah, it's from you. I exchanged the blouse. And Monica then says, doesn't Ross's flight get in a couple hours at gate 27B? And she's a sister. You think she could just go with Rachel to pick him up?
I know, that's weird.
Be like, oh, I want to watch.
Yeah.
But Rachel tries to convince Monica that her going out with Ross is a bad idea because she feels like she's be dating the whole group. Mm-hmm. Es too muy pressure.
Too much pressure.
No pressure, no pressure. And she's like, no. I know I was weird at first, but she promises to be good.
I say that a lot, don't I, Anna?
Yes, you do.
I promise to be good.
I promise. Never works out.
No.
The intercom sounds, and it's Carl.
Behind my brother's back is exactly the kind of crazy thing you won't be hearing from me.
Oh, Carl.
Oh, yeah, you love Carl. All right, so then we're at Chandler and Joey's, and Chandler's sitting there, nestled among a jillion fruit baskets with his mouth agape.
Right. This is where I make my money back.
Joey comes in flashing his $700 check, and Chandler asks if they have any fruit. And Joey agrees it's been a hell of a 2 weeks, but he learned something. And Chandler asks if he's going to stick with this all for her thing. And Joey scoffs and says, "Are you crazy? When a blind man gets his sight, he doesn't stumble around with his eyes closed."
That is true. He still smells things every now and then. Okay, we're on Monica and Rachel's balcony.
Yes.
And it's Rachel and Carl.
Carl.
How did Carl get past the coffee shop, let alone to like a second date or whatever this is?
Yes, because just 2 seconds of hearing his voice, I'm already annoyed.
Right. So Carl is played by one Tommy Blaze, who was someone who took Phoebe's Flame Boy suggestion to heart.
I remember when you said his name was Tommy Blaze, and I said, "Nuh-uh."
You were like, no way. He's Ghost Rider's brother? No, she didn't say that.
I did not.
Ghost Rider's name is Johnny Blaze.
See, I didn't even know that.
So he claims that if he sees one more picture of Ed Begley Jr. in his electric car, he's going to shoot himself. And this fucking guy is so annoying, I just want to hand him a gun and a photo of Ed Begley Jr. in his electric car.
See, he plays his part very well.
Yes, he does. Or they cast him very well. Anyway, while this idiot's blathering on, an imaginary version of Ross shows up. Way more relaxed and cool than he's ever been.
Yes.
And he questions why Rachel is dating this guy and not him. He tells her to stop thinking about him. And he's like, "You can't do it, can you?" And she's like, "So what? I'm thinking about you. So what?" And he questions what she sees in this guy. She says he seems nice. I'm like, "Come on, buddy. Get a real car."
Like, seriously, Rachel? No.
No, nice is not one of the first
not the
adjectives
first. Yeah.
that comes to mind.
Not at all.
So imaginary Ross is trying to convince her to give them a chance. So what if it gets weird for everybody else? I've been in love with you since 9th grade.
So imaginary Ross is so candid. Like, he just says exactly what he's supposed to say and how he feels.
Right.
It's so unlike real Ross.
Right.
And,
so unlike real Ross would never have a conversation
which
like
means that she's fantasizing about not Ross.
Not Ross. No. Anyway, so Rachel says, "But Ross, you're like my best friend. If this didn't work out, if you used a pro-con list as a means to decide between me and another girl, or if you slept with that cool loose girl at the copy place and I lost you, what makes you think we'd break up? Well, have you ever been involved with someone you haven't broken up with?"
Hey, Adam.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Oh, yeah, we haven't broken up. No. Yet, according to Rachel.
Oh.
You made me lose my place.
Sorry.
That's all right. It was worth it.
No, but it only.
No, he's like, "No, but it only has to happen once. We both know we are perfect for each other. The only question is, are you attracted to me?" And she says, "I don't know." Which real Ross would take as a hit to the groin.
Right?
Imaginary Ross just shakes it off. And she's like, "I never looked at you that way before." And he's like, "Well, start looking." And then imaginary Ross plants an imaginary kiss on her so good it makes her go, "Wow." And Carl is finishing up his tight 5 on Ed Begley Jr. and says, "Exactly. And you just know I'm going to be the guy caught behind this hammerhead in traffic." And then I threw myself off the balcony.
Stay with us. Stay with us.
But Rachel instead says she has to go pick up a friend at the airport and he can stay and get drunk if he wants. And I'm surprised that this hammerhead isn't still on the couch drinking when she gets back with Ross. And you know who.
So after this, when Rachel goes in, there's a cut scene. When she climbs through the window, Monica's there, and she's like, where are you going? And I'm going to the airport. And then she goes, what about Carl? And she goes, you can have it. I'm done. And she goes, he's not a sandwich. And Rachel goes, he's a banker with tickets to the opera. And Mon goes, hello. Then she runs out into the hall, and Chandler's out there, and he tries to dissuade her to going to
the airport.
The airport, yes. Yeah. And because his excuse is, I haven't seen Baywatch since Yasmin Bleeth started.
Right.
And she assures him it's good. And so he tells her to fly, good woman. And then he says, another closed case for the love doctor.
The love doctor. I'm kind of glad they cut that part.
Yeah. All right, so then we're at the airport.
Yeah.
Rachel's running through. She arrives at the airport with flowers, and she pushes everyone aside to get to the front of the gate.
Yes.
And then Madonna's Take a Bow, which was the #1 song a few weeks back in 1994 that we didn't recognize, starts playing. And I thought that was weird.
That was weird.
So then Toby, and not Ross, exit first.
Yeah.
And he is still asking her to let it go. There is no Rachel.
There is no Rachel.
So Julie...
For the whole week?
Yeah.
This couple's been walking around China, and he's been like, there's no Rachel.
I told Adam I imagined that she never said a word, and he just kept saying stuff.
For the whole week.
For the whole week.
And then they happen to be on the same flight back.
Right. There's not that many flights to China. So Julie rounds the corner, and Ross says, hey, I got that, and picks up her dropped bag, which for a split second you think he's just being polite to the stranger.
Right.
But no, they kiss.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he says he cannot wait for her to meet his friends, and Julie says, won't they judge and ridicule me? And she goes, yeah, but I can't wait.
Right.
And we end on a close-up of a hopeful Rachel's face. And there is no tag.
There is no tag.
Yep, that's it.
So I'm a little surprised at the cliffhanger.
Oh, yeah?
That they introduced Julie before the end of the season.
Oh, so she was there for that one scene.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you think that for the cliffhanger, you'd want Ross to come around the corner and you'd focus in on Rachel.
Right.
And you kind of, or do the drop the bag thing.
Right.
And you don't really know.
Right.
You're still hopeful at the end of the season.
Right. But Rachel's the only one that doesn't know.
Right. But the audience knows Ross has already moved on to somebody else. So
yeah, that's
the cliffhanger is Rachel's going to find out.
And that's the end of the episode.
That's it. Cut and print.
We're going to take another short break. We'll be right back.
$700.
All right, you did it. Do we have any fruit?
Man, hell of a 2 weeks, huh? You know what, though? I really feel like I learned something.
Really? So you're going to stick with this it's all for her thing?
What, are you crazy?
And we're back.
We're back for the wrap-up.
That's right. What did we learn this episode? I learned that Joey is really good at the other stuff. Mm-hmm. And he has the fruit baskets to prove it.
Ooh.
What did you learn?
I learned that 30 years ago, the country was really invested in if Ross and Rachel were ever going to get together. And the writers are going to tease the country a little bit more. And then a little bit more. And then a little bit more. And then a little bit more.
What are your final thoughts of this episode?
Poor Melanie is just gone next season.
I know.
They get back in from the airport and she's not there.
I know. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
No more Melanie.
I miss the will they, won't they cliffhangers. Like we were just watching Moonlighting last week and they did the same thing.
Right.
I miss being able to sit with people at the airport. I miss, before they board their plane. And do we have any fruit?
We have lots of fruit.
Oh, yeah. You tripped over them. I forgot. All right. Don't get too sad. But what's our sweater vest tracker?
0.
No sweater vest
0.
this episode. So we end the first season with 21 total.
21.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
21 total sweater vests for the first season.
Yeah, that's not a bad number, though.
Nope, just under the average, just under the 1 per episode.
Yep.
But pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. So, next week, we're not going on to season 2. We'll have our very first bonus episode.
Bonus episode.
The one where we break down season 1.
Season 1 breakdown.
That's right. I'm excited.
Are you?
Yeah, we started watching the DVDs and I started taking all these notes and I was like, it's not a 3-hour episode.
Yeah. There's too many cutscenes for you to do them all.
Yeah. So I'm going to go through and pick out my favorite.
Yeah.
And I won't pick any out since we got the DVDs. I'll go backwards.
Right. We filled you in on the last few.
Right.
Well, she'll go back to the beginning and pick out a few.
Yes. All right. So what did we do this week?
Maladjusted moments.
Oh, I did it again.
You did it again.
So what did we do this week?
I don't know. What did we do?
We did not watch Weekend at Bernie's like we told everyone.
Oh, fuck a dick.
Yep. Fuck a dick.
Fuck a dick.
But
I know
we haven't edited the episode.
We can watch it tonight.
That's right.
And we'll talk about it
and
tomorrow.
we'll come back.
Yeah.
And re-record what we saw.
That'll be it. So I'll cut right now.
Okay.
And then we'll talk about that.
All right.
All right.
We're back.
It's a couple days later.
It's Valentine's Day today.
It is Happy Valentine's Day. Valentine.
Happy Valentine's Day to you.
I choose you.
Ditto. So yes, we stopped recording.
Yes.
We went and watched Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah.
Totally sober.
Totally sober.
And
probably a mistake.
Yeah, that was our first mistake right there. I don't think we laughed until we saw that little kid.
Well, I think there was a couple things that made me laugh.
Okay.
Let's start off first. We're going to talk about who was in it.
All right.
So,
Jonathan Silverman, who's Dr. Franzblau,
Right.
was in it.
Right.
And then Andrew McCarthy,
Right.
which I totally forgot he was in it.
And they were Richard and Larry, respectively.
And they worked for this insurance company, right?
I don't know what they worked for.
Yeah, it seemed like an insurance company because they kept saying policies and
yeah.
things like
I
that.
thought it was like they were supposed to be traders or something. I don't know.
Anyway.
Hang on, before you get started down the plot line.
Okay.
I want to say that it's directed by Ted Kotcheff.
Okay.
Okay.
What else has he directed?
He directed a super old version of Mice and Men.
Okay.
And he directed Rambo: First Blood.
No, sir.
And then Weekend at Bernie's.
What?
I mean, he's got a ton of stuff
Right.
in there. But
those two are like completely opposite ends of the spectrum.
well, are they? I'm not certain that they are.
Okay.
Okay, now you can go ahead and start
all right.
talking.
So these two guys discover this mistake.
Right. A
Like
$2
million.
A $2 million error on two different pages.
Yes. And so they're super excited and they go
Right.
in and tell the big boss.
The big boss, Bernie.
Bernie. Yes. He tells them to call him Bernie.
Yeah.
Because they discovered this $2 million mistake. And as soon as they start talking about it and the way that Bernie's interacting with
Right.
them, I turned to Adam and I said, he fucking stole the $2 million. And
Well,
they're in
you
trouble.
said, I'm not sure if they're playing it like he stole the money. And I was like, no, he definitely stole the money.
He invites them out to his beach house for the weekend.
Right.
And then the next scene, they see him at dinner with these like mafia guys, but probably the cheapest looking mafia guys you've ever
Right.
seen.
In a set of a restaurant.
Right.
Like a set that looks right off of Friends.
Yeah, like the restaurant that Monica and Paul went to with
Right.
pink tablecloths. So they're in this restaurant and they talk about killing these two. So he
Right.
says he invited them out to his house and then they can kill them there. So then Bernie gets up and leaves. And
The mob guy's immediately like, fuck that plan, kill
yeah,
Bernie.
Kill Bernie. That ensues. He goes out to his, and he's a dick the whole time.
Right.
Like, he's a jerk. He goes out to his beach house. He's a dick.
Right.
But apparently, Bernie's house is infamous for these parties. People just show up. Everyone knows him.
Yeah.
And But before the two guys get there, some guy comes in and kills Bernie.
Right. He whacks Bernie right away.
Right, but he gives him like a shot of something so that there's
And
no
then
like
puts drugs
exterior.
in it. Then he puts drugs in his body.
Right, so there's no exterior wounds or anything. So Bernie's there with his sunglasses on, with a big smile on his face.
Right.
And these two guys come in.
Right, our quote unquote heroes arrive.
Right. They come in, and it takes them a long time to realize that Bernie's dead.
Right.
And then they realize it. And they go to call the police, but for some reason, their big idea was they're there to party.
Right.
So people won't come and party unless Bernie's there. So they keep Bernie.
Right.
And they have this big party.
So after we watched the movie, we watched the trailer. Because we're like, let's research this a little bit. Because there's a scene in the trailer that is in the movie, and it's probably 20 minutes before the ending of the movie.
Right.
Is where they're like, oh no, he hired hitmen to kill us, but he said not to kill us if he was around.
Right.
But within the movie, they've already been pretending he's not dead for a day.
Yeah. So
for
it was
a full
like
24 hours before this.
Before they say, oh, they're going to kill us unless Bernie's still alive, and then they continue to keep him alive.
So until that point, they're just these two psychopaths pretending their boss is still alive so they can party and stuff.
And nobody notices that Bernie's dead. He's got this smile plastered on his face. His eyes are open underneath his glasses.
Right.
So no one can tell that he's dead.
A girl has sex with dead Bernie.
Yes! And they're like, she's been up there for like 45 minutes. And she comes down and acts like it's the best thing she's ever done. And we're like, oh my God, that's so disturbing. So yeah, it was really, really weird and not funny.
Well, I kept wanting it to be like
a dark comedy.
I kept wanting it to be like Heathers.
Yeah.
Like that tone.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like if Heathers looked like Pretty in Pink.
Right. It was brightly lit. Everyone was like bright colored clothes.
If everybody in Heathers was acting like this was normal and it was all cool and everything was fine, that's what the tone of this movie. It was
so bizarre. Yeah. So I question Rachel's thought process for liking
Rachel
this.
Green it's her favorite movie,
right? Because in the quiz when they do the
but we also watched it because Jonathan Silverman was just in last week's episode.
Yeah,
so the combo, I thought, well, that might be fun because I haven't seen it in a while. I had no idea they were such psychopaths.
Yeah, it was so bizarre.
And Andrew McCarthy has such fun playing with this dead body.
Yeah, he like gets a kick out of it. He rigs up all these things to make his arms move and him wave, and oh my God, it's so weird.
Like I honestly was wondering if maybe it was a response to, you know how I've told you this, but there's that theory that Ferris Bueller is a psychopath.
Oh,
that he doesn't care about anybody else's feelings.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's
does
just
what he wants.
Right.
Yeah.
Does whatever he wants. He doesn't care about the consequences.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a true. So I was wondering if somebody saw Ferris Bueller and was like, well, everybody really liked that psycho. So two psychos doing psycho behavior would be funnier.
Recommendation at your own risk. If you want to be confused, and I would recommend that you not watch it sober.
Right.
It might be funnier.
I was baffled more than anything else.
Right.
I mean, they were kind of likable, kind of, they were like playing that, Andrew McCarthy's kind of playing a character who's supposed to be the scuzzy,
Yeah. But he's like goofy, wore purple Converse and mismatched clothes. And I like those characters. Like, that would be the person I would gravitate towards. But he was completely insane.
But then he went so far. Yes. And then it was like, what is happening?
And he was the one that kept saying, no, don't call the police. Don't call the police.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the other guy was using Bernie's to get a girl.
Yeah.
He met some girl and he was kind of using the parties to...
Yeah, to get the girl to come to the party so that he could hook up with her.
So, it was like, I was transfixed by it because it was such a weird. But like right off the bat, the first thing I said to you was, okay, what's going to be the plot device that they have to keep him alive?
Right. That's what we didn't know.
Because I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
And there was
a party.
None.
That was it.
There was none.
If it had been from the beginning that they found out that they were going to get killed unless Bernie was still alive, that would have made more sense.
That would have made sense.
But that wasn't until a whole day later when they had kept him alive just to party with all these people they didn't know.
So, I mean, if you want to watch it as like a weird curiosity, like, I'm shocked that it was made. This falls into the category.
How did this get made?
Right. Well, how did this get made? But it falls into the category of all studio execs in the 80s were fucking high as kites on cocaine.
I was just going to say, yeah. They were like whacked out of their brain.
It seems like a cocaine movie to me.
So we did that favor for you guys. We watched Weekend at Bernie's. I won't be watching it again.
Apologies if it's someone else's favorite movie.
But maybe write in and tell us why. Maybe there's a different aspect we did not get. Maybe you do have to be not sober to watch it. I don't know.
I have no idea.
All right. Thanks for listening, guys. Next week, bonus episode. Woo!
Bonus episode.
All right. So, if you would like your thoughts or reactions regarding future episodes to be shared with the rest of the class, or you just want to reach out and say hey,
come on, we want to hear from more of you misfits out there.
Email us at themaladjustedmisfits@gmail.com and rate us and leave positive comments.
And if you have a negative comment, try to leave it in a positive way.
Check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
Joe, you ready for a cup of coffee?
Always. Wow. Oh, you're going to be making money hand over fist.